You probably think you know Tombstone. You've seen the gunfights, memorized the one-liners and cheered for Wyatt and Doc like everyone else. But here's what most fans never realized. Behind the iconic mustaches and shootouts was a storm of chaos, heartbreak and quiet rebellion. And at the center of it all? Sam Elliott, who just recently opened up about what really happened on set, and why it still haunts him. From the moment production started, Sam was thrilled to play Virgil Earp. He felt the weight of the story, the meaning behind it. And more importantly, he believed in director Kevin Jarre's vision. Jarre wasn't just directing, he'd written the script, crafted the characters and shaped every detail, down to how the actors walked, talked and wore their spurs. Sam saw a passion project. A real Western. Something with grit but also soul. But right away the cracks began to show. By the third day, Sam sensed something wasn't working. Jarre leaned heavily into sweeping wide shots. Beautiful, classic, but too slow for a modern audience. Close-ups. Emotion. Pacing? They weren't landing. And worse, Jarre refused to adapt. He wouldn't take input from his experienced cinematographer, William Fraker, or the crew. He was trying to direct like it was 1955, and it just wasn't clicking. Sam wasn't angry. He was worried. He cared about the movie, the script, the people. And when Jarre was let go a few weeks later, no fanfare, no chance to say goodbye, everyone on set felt the hit. It wasn't just a firing. It was a death in the family. They'd all bought into Jarre's vision and now they were adrift. George P. Cosmatos was brought in fast to save the shoot. But he had no prep time. No deep understanding of the story. It was damage control, not direction. And in the vacuum of leadership, one man stepped forward. Not officially, not loudly, but with action. Kurt Russell. Kurt quietly started rewriting shot plans every night. He sat with the crew, worked with the actors and helped shape the pacing and tone from the shadows. Every morning, Cosmatos would get Kurt's notes. Behind the camera, it was Kurt holding the movie together. And Sam? He backed him. Even as 30 pages of Jarre's script were cut, scenes that gave characters depth, warmth, and connection, Sam stayed. But it hurt. Because those cuts carved directly into Virgil's arc, whole subplots vanished. Emotional moments? Gone. Sam later admitted, had he known how much of his role would be trimmed, he might have turned it down entirely. But he didn't. Because he believed in the film. He believed in Kurt. And most of all, he believed in Virgil, the lawman who wasn't chasing glory but doing what was right. So, Sam did something bold. Quietly, almost invisibly, he fought back. He slipped lines back in. Held on to gestures. Used silence. A look. The stance. He filled the gaps the cuts left behind. While Wyatt and Doc stole the spotlight, Sam made sure Virgil still had a soul. And then came the moment that said it all. One night after shooting, Sam was at a bar when someone leaned over and told him, "You should have played Wyatt." Sam didn't argue. He didn't explain. He just looked up and said, "Tell me about it," then took another sip. That's it. No speech. No bitterness. Just quiet disappointment from a man who gave everything and watched half of it disappear. Meanwhile, tensions behind the scenes got worse. William Fraker, the cinematographer, tried to quit multiple times. He fought with both Jarre and Cosmatos. The crew felt lost. 17 people walked off the set entirely. One day, Fraker and Cosmatos even rammed their golf carts into each other out of pure frustration. The pressure was insane. Budget ballooning. Time running out. Disney breathing down their necks for a Christmas release. And yet, somehow they kept going. What? Because they believed in the story, even if it wasn't the same one they started with. But as if all that wasn't enough, there was another storm brewing. Kevin Costner. See, Costner had originally been approached for Tombstone, but he turned it down. He wanted to make his own version, one that focused solely on Wyatt Earp, not an ensemble piece. And when he did, he reportedly used his Hollywood clout to sabotage Tombstone. He pressured studios not to distribute it, blocked costume rentals, even tried to hoard Western props to slow them down. But the team pushed through. They found their wardrobe in Europe, of all places. Shot scenes with what they had. Improvised when they had to. And they made it. On December 24, 1993, Tombstone hit theaters. And it crushed expectations. On a $25 million budget, it pulled in over $56 million in North America alone. Fans loved it. Critics loved it. Lines from the movie became part of pop culture. And Val Kilmer's Doc Holliday? Legendary. Meanwhile, Costner's Wyatt Earp, which cost more than double, landed 6 months later, and bombed. Critics called it bloated, boring, overlong. Even Costner later admitted he regretted trying to go head-to-head with Tombstone. But for Sam Elliott it was never about winning. It was about what could have been. He was proud of the film. Proud of Kurt. Proud of how the cast pulled together and made something great out of chaos. But that ache, the one that comes when you know a role had more to give, that never quite went away. What fans didn't see was the subtle brilliance of what Sam did with Virgil. He made him the moral core. The one who didn't want to fight but stood up anyway. There's a scene where Virgil rescues a child during the chaos. No music swell, no speech, just action. You blink and you miss it. But that is the heart of the story. Virgil was the one saying, "This town matters. Not for revenge. Not for ego. But for justice." And Sam Elliott captured that with quiet strength. No flash. No need to steal the scene. Just truth. Years later, people are finally recognizing what Sam brought to the film. Critics have called him the emotional backbone of the story. A man whose silence speaks louder than gunfire. His performance doesn't shout, it echoes. And it lingers long after the movie ends. And here's the part that hits even harder. Sam came out of semi-retirement for this role. He said Virgil Earp felt like a man he understood. Honest, tired, still standing. It wasn't about screen time. It was about what mattered. And in a film full of chaos, Sam Elliott gave us the calm. So yeah, when people say Tombstone is just an action-packed western with great lines and big shootouts, they're missing the best part. They're missing Sam Elliott. They're missing Virgil. The man who stood between vengeance and duty. The one who didn't want to be a hero, but became one anyway. That's not just good acting. That's character. And that's why Tombstone still holds up. Because underneath the bullets and bravado, there's a quiet man with a battered badge, and a heart that never gave up. If this made you see the film in a whole new light, hit that like button and share it with someone who needs to hear the real story behind Tombstone. And if you want more true tales from Hollywood's most chaotic sets, subscribe because the next story we're telling might just blow your boots off.